Just listen to this. That clean, reverb-drenched guitar. Those mellow synths. That smooth, melancholic voice. It sounds exactly like something you'd stumble upon on a late-night drive playlist, probably filed under chillwave or bedroom pop. It feels familiar, right? Like it could be a band out of Brooklyn, Austin, or maybe even Sydney. For months, this song quietly took over the internet's indie scene, becoming the soundtrack for thousands of travel vlogs, cafe videos, and moody rainy day reels. The world's tastemakers and algorithms all seem to agree. This was a certified Western indie gem. But the world, and probably you, were completely wrong. This song isn't just from a different city. It's from a different world, with a story so deep in its culture that once you hear it, the song will never sound the same. The song is called Raining in Manila by a band named Lola Amour. After it was released on June 14, 2023, its rise wasn't some explosive, overnight thing. It was more like a slow, creeping vine. It was a classic case of invited attention, not a viral meme, but a track that people just organically found and quietly added to their personal soundtracks. It became the go-to background music for a generation documenting their lives online. You'd hear it over drone shots of Iceland, time-lapses of sunny European cafes, and montages of friends laughing on a road trip. The comment sections tell the whole story of this global mix-up. "What's the name of this Aussie band?" one person would ask. Another would guess, "Definitely UK indie vibes." The song was slipped into playlists right next to artists like Tame Impala, Men I Trust, and the 1975, and honestly, it fit perfectly. So, how did a band from the Philippines pull off this sonic masquerade? Well, it lies in a deliberate and brilliant mix of genre and production. At its heart, the song is a city pop tune. Lola Amour was inspired by the Japanese city pop movement of the 1980s, a genre famous for its slick production and sophisticated blend of funk, jazz, and R&B. Think of artists like Tatsuro Yamashita, whose song Sparkle was a direct influence on Raining in Manila. That genre was born out of Japan's economic boom, creating a soundtrack for urban life and for moving to the big city. And that big city feel? That's universal. Lola Amour then layered that foundation with the exact ingredients that music algorithms and Western indie playlists love. The production is clean, the guitars are soaked in just the right amount of reverb, the synths add a warm, mellow texture, and the rhythm is smooth and flowing. But the most crucial element was the language. The song kicks off with and is peppered with English lyrics. For a casual, non-Filipino listener, this removes any immediate clue about where it's from. The lead vocalist, Pio Dumayas, sings with an accent that's hard to place, a common thing in today's globalized music scene where artists often soften their pronunciation for a more universal sound. We see it everywhere, from Scandinavian pop stars to Latin American rockers. In that context, a line like, "It's been raining in Manila, aren't you feeling cold?" just sounds poetic. The word Manila feels like an aesthetic detail, not a concrete place. For the global audience, the song wasn't from anywhere, it was simply for a mood. It was the perfect, anonymous, globalized indie song. But a secret this big can't stay hidden forever, especially on the internet. While international listeners were busy adding the song to their Sad Boy Hours playlists, something else was happening. A growing chorus of voices started popping up in the comments, all saying the same thing. This is OPM. OPM, or Original Filipino Music, is the term for popular music from the Philippines. All of a sudden, the context began to shift. Filipino listeners weren't just identifying the song's origin. They were claiming it. They understood it on a level the rest of the world had completely missed. The rain wasn't just an aesthetic. It was a specific, lived experience. The rainy season in Manila brings intense downpours, traffic-stopping floods, and a unique, humid cold that gets into your bones. The real turning point came when foreign listeners started asking their Filipino friends, what do the Tagalog lyrics actually mean? Because the song isn't just sprinkled with English, it's a bilingual conversation. And when those Tagalog parts were translated, the song's entire meaning was unlocked. This wasn't a song about a generic breakup. It was about something deeply, profoundly Filipino. The experience of watching your friends leave the country for a better life. One of the key lines that reveals the song's heart is, "'Cause it's been raining in Manila, hindi ka ba nilalamig? Mahirap bang mag-isang nanginginig?" The English part is a simple question, but the Tagalog that follows makes it so much deeper. Aren't you cold? Is it hard to be shivering alone? Suddenly, it's not just about the weather. It's an expression of deep worry for someone far away. Another powerful line goes, "Paumanhin at mukhang hindi ko masasabayan ang iyong yapak sa pagngiti, sa pag-iyak, sa paglipad, at pagbagsak ng araw-araw." Lead singer Pio Dumayas explained this was a fancy way of saying he was sorry for not being there to see a friend's daily wins and losses, their smiles, their tears, their flights, and their falls. The song became a vessel for a national feeling. The Philippines has one of the largest diasporas in the world, with millions of Filipinos living and working abroad as nurses, engineers, and more. The song speaks to those left behind, capturing a feeling of longing and quiet hope for those who have gone. It touches on the bittersweet truth that chasing a better life often means leaving home. This cultural context transformed Raining in Manila from a cool, detached indie track into a deeply emotional anthem of friendship, distance, and homesickness. For the band, the story was personal. Pio Dumayas wrote the song for his own friends who had left the country during the pandemic. Friends from his college days that he missed dearly. He just hoped that even though they were living different lives, the stars in their eyes were still the same. So who is Lola Amour, the band that accidentally gave the world a lesson in Filipino culture? Their story is just as compelling as their music. The group started at De La Salle Santiago Zobel School in Metro Manila, where two rival high school bands, Sinigang na Baboy and Decaf, were constantly battling it out in school competitions. But despite the rivalry, the members were all friends. Eventually, they decided to join forces, and when they got to college, they officially became Lola Amour, a tribute to lead singer Pio's grandmother, Lola Amour. The band is a 7-piece outfit and a vibrant mix of talent. Pio Dumayas on vocals, David Yuhiko on keyboards, Zoe Gonzalez on lead guitar, Manu Dumayas on bass and trumpet, Angelo Messina on trumpet, Jeff Abweg on saxophone, and Rafi Perez on drums. Their sound is a dynamic blend of modern rock, funk, and pop that they've perfected over years of playing together. They were no overnight success. They formed way back in 2013 and spent years hustling in the local indie scene, playing small gigs and sometimes even paying out of their own pockets just to get to a show. A huge break came in 2017 when, as a rookie band with only one original song, they won Wonder Band, a major competition at the Wonderland Music and Arts Festival that opened up a ton of new doors. Even as they started getting noticed, music was a passion they had to balance with demanding careers. At one point, their trumpeter, Angelo Messina, was a fourth-year medical student pulling 24-hour duties. This connection to everyday life is probably what makes their music so relatable. They aren't detached rock stars. They're a group of friends whose first goal was just to play in bars. And that long, steady climb is what made the explosive success of Raining in Manila so shocking, even to them. They'd had popular songs before, like Pwede Ba and Fallen, but this was a whole different beast. The story of Raining in Manila is a perfect example of how a song can hold an entire universe of meaning just below the surface. It shows that music is a language we all get, but learning the local dialect can open up a brand new world. If you love discovering the hidden stories behind the music you hear every day, and if you believe that every song has a secret to tell, then hit that subscribe button and join our community. We have so many more mysteries to unravel. Once the song's real identity was out, everything changed. The global mix-up became the story. Music journalists, cultural commentators, and YouTubers all jumped on the narrative. But instead of hurting the song's appeal, the revelation made it richer. International listeners who first liked the song for its vibe suddenly found a deeper, more compelling story. Travel vloggers who used it as generic background music began to change their tune. Some started intentionally filming in Manila, using the song to tell a story about a specific place. The song's success became massive and measurable. It broke records on Spotify Philippines for the most streams in a single day and week. On the Billboard Philippines Songs chart, it was a titan, peaking at number 2 for an incredible 11 straight weeks, kept from the top spot only by a global monster, Jungkook's 7. By late 2025, the track had earned a Diamond Record Award in the Philippines, a huge milestone marking over 220 million streams in the country. This success led to a massive nationwide Raining in Manila tour in 2023, with stops all across the Philippines. The tour finale was a huge event, featuring guest appearances from cultural icons like comedian Michael V. The song's influence even reached the global stage in some pretty wild ways. Members of the K-pop group Enhypen and Bam Bam of GOT7 gave the track major co-signs. Then, in an unforgettable moment in January 2024, Coldplay invited Lola Amour on stage during their concert in the Philippines to perform Raining in Manila, with Chris Martin himself singing a few lines. Later that year, K-pop star Chanyeol performed the song during his own Manila concert. And in May 2025, the song won a special award at the very first Music Awards Japan, recognized for its excellence in Philippine popular music. With that much attention, there were bound to be a few bumps. The band faced a minor controversy over a 30-second teaser for the music video, which showed them joyfully singing in a small boat during a flood. Some fans felt this was insensitive, as it seemed to romanticize the very real and often devastating experience of flooding in the Philippines. Lola Amour responded quickly and apologized, acknowledging they hadn't been sensitive enough. When the full music video came out, it showed a more thoughtful story of two lovers reconnecting in a flooded Manila. And the controversy fizzled out. It wasn't a major scandal, just a moment of conversation between the artists and their community. The incredible journey of Raining in Manila is more than just a music story. It's a story about the world we live in now. It highlights a strange paradox of the streaming era. Algorithms can make music from anywhere accessible to everyone, but in doing so, they can also strip it of its identity, flattening its unique culture into a generic aesthetic. A song about the very specific feeling of being in Manila became, for a while, a song that could have been from anywhere. It was turned from a real place into a signifier for rainy mood. But that's not where the story ends. The real magic happened when Filipino listeners reinserted the context, when they reached across the digital divide and said, "Hey, this is ours. Let us tell you what it means." They took the narrative back. They turned a placeless aesthetic back into a place. And the world didn't turn away. It leaned in closer. Listeners came for the chill-wave synth and stayed for the story of friendship, distance, and the Filipino diaspora. It proves that while music absolutely can transcend language, true understanding makes the experience 10 times richer. It's a testament to the power of a good story and a reminder that behind every great song, there is a pulse, a place, and a people. And now, as Lola Amour embarks on a world tour from Asia to North America, they aren't some anonymous indie band anymore. They are Lola Amour from Manila, and they carry the stories of their city with them. The world may have thought this was just another Western indie song, but in learning they were wrong, they discovered something infinitely more beautiful. They discovered a song that sounds like home,